Let's bring in Nina Tannenwald, a political science professor at Brown University, specializing in weapons of mass destruction, human rights, and the laws of war. Nina, thank you for being here. What's your biggest concern surrounding these nuclear plants, and what do international laws say about attacking them?
The biggest concern is that they could be attacked, their shell could be pierced, and they could release radiation. There's also a possibility of meltdown, as in the Chernobyl meltdown, the meltdown of the Chernobyl reactor in 1986. It is illegal to attack nuclear reactors, and so this is very worrisome. Right now, these reactors are not of immediate concern. So for the moment, there is not an immediate risk here, but it illustrates the danger of fighting wars in countries where there are a lot of nuclear reactors and the possibility that these things could be damaged and release radiation.
So the White House is warning that Russia may use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine, possibly as part of a false flag operation. What could that look like, and how serious of an escalation would that be?
That would be an extremely serious escalation. So Russia is a party to the treaty that prohibits, that bans chemical weapons. And in 2017, the organization that monitors that stated that Russia had destroyed its entire chemical weapons stockpile. But the United States believes that Russia may still possess some chemical weapons and perhaps some biological weapons. Right now, it's a threat. It's a very horrible threat. Russia potentially could try to say that the Ukraine or the United States has staged some kind of chemical or biological attack in Ukraine, and that would provide a pretext for Russia to escalate the war. But Russia could use perhaps sarin gas or mustard gas. Those are types of chemical weapons. Anthrax would be a biological weapon. I think this is unlikely, but it's not impossible. It would be a really horrible escalation of the war.
Now, the chief of U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency says that the U.S. should listen to Putin very carefully because of Russia's niche weapon capabilities, saying that Putin's also invested in tactical nuclear weapons. What does that mean exactly?
So Russia has, and the United States as well, Russia has large strategic nuclear weapons that could destroy an entire city, but it also has what are called smaller tactical nuclear weapons. But nobody should be under the illusion that these are small weapons. These are for uses in a limited area to attack particular installations or troop formations, but they are nuclear weapons also, and they would produce the same effects as the Hiroshima strike on Japan, perhaps at a slightly lower level. But there's an enormous risk of escalation in this war. And I think the past 2 weeks, a lot of the focus has been on helping Ukraine defend itself and helping Ukraine fight. And I think we do have a moral obligation to help Ukraine fight. But we also have a moral obligation to prevent a wider war. And it would be an absolute catastrophe if this escalated to a nuclear war. And I worry right now that we are engaged in a process of incremental escalation. We provide more weapons. We're talking about providing warplanes to Poland, may provide warplanes to Ukraine. These are important discussions. But the most important thing that has to happen right now is to end the war. And so as much as we're talking about helping Ukraine, we also need to be talking about how to end this war. And this is negotiations. There have to be some negotiated end to the war.
So, Nina, what's the alternative, though? That's something that's easy to say, but even today, Russian foreign minister and the Ukrainian foreign minister met yet again to talk about a ceasefire. They both parted ways. It seems like little progress is being made there. So it's not like diplomatic efforts haven't been tried. So how do you end this war without trying to provide more weapons to Ukraine and escalating it?
So that's a very good question. That's the job of the diplomats, and the diplomats have to get up every day and go back to the table and negotiate. So this war will end when we need to find an off-ramp for Putin. there's going to have to some way that Putin can declare, and he can make it up, but he's going to have to declare somehow that he achieved some of Russia's aims, his aims in Ukraine. Ukraine is going to have to compromise. There's going to be some compromise agreement. It's very important that world leaders speak up strongly about ending the war. Statements from countries like China and India, countries who aspire to play a great power role, should also speak up. But there's going to be more pain on both sides, but the diplomatic efforts must continue.
All right, Nina Tannenwald, great to have your analysis, Nina. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.